Live, local, late breaking. This is WBAL TV 11 News.
Well, winter weather is here, and that means an increased risk of injury.
That's right. Coming up in our medical alert, we talk with a local doctor about how to stay safe this winter. In this morning's medical alert, as we get ready for the start of the winter, there are some precautions we need to take that are unique to the season. Now, joining us live this morning with more on preventing winter injuries is Dr. Mark Slabaugh from Mercy Medical Center. Good morning.
Good morning.
So let's talk about this, right? Winter sports, what are some common injuries that you see?
Definitely the biggest one that I see as a sports medicine doctor is an ACL injury. That typically occurs from skiing. Snowboarding, not so much as common as skiing, but usually skiing is the one where we see a lot of the ACL injuries.
So how do we prevent some of these winter sports injuries?
For those people that like to do any of the winter sports, you really want to start about a month before your trip. Whether you're going up north to ski or whether you're going out west to ski, you want to make sure that you are trying to strengthen those muscles that you're going to be using. If you go out cold, you don't stretch, and you don't prepare for the season, then it's going to be a lot more difficult. I think one of the things that a lot of times people don't recognize and don't do is they don't get their equipment tuned up so that they go out and they're skiing on the skis that they didn't have tuned, and they have a lot of wear on them from the last season, and they just aren't prepared in that way. So it's very important to tune up your equipment before you go and make sure that you really are, especially for all the winter sports, wearing a helmet. Even for sledding, that can be sometimes something you just don't realize, but the most common injury, especially for kids, is a head injury with skiing or with sledding.
And all winter injuries don't come from sports either. You can be injured shoveling, and that's pretty common as well.
Yeah, especially if we're going to get, last year was such an uncommon year. We didn't have any snow. So I hope that people are starting to prepare. You want to make sure you're holding onto a hand railing or you de-ice the areas that you're going to be walking on. The most common is just slip on ice and you fall and you break your wrist, or you can break your hip if you're a little bit older and have maybe osteoporosis.
We've heard about people, just while we're talking about it, shoveling and maybe having heart attacks or, injuring their back. We know you should lift from your knees, but is there something to be said for staying hydrated when you're out doing this?
Absolutely. It's something that you want to do. You want to make sure that you're drinking enough before you go out. A lot of times we'll do it very rushed. We want to get our car cleaned off, or we want to get our car repaired for the trip. And you just have to make sure that you're getting hydrated, because you don't want to do it right at the beginning and not prepare for that.
All right. Any other tips as we start to get that winter weather moving in?
Yeah, you just want to make sure that you're really preparing for the season and strengthening the muscles that you're going to be using, especially if you're going to be out skiing, and then just making sure that you are trying to make sure that you are getting your muscles strong, especially for skiing.
All right, Dr. Slabaugh, thank you so much for joining us. We want to have fun this winter, but we also want to be safe.
Absolutely. Enjoy the winter.
All right. Thank you. You as well.